experience. We begin with Chitradeepa Prakarana. The five Deepa Prakaranas are five lamps that will illumine different aspects of consciousness for us. Chapter 6 is Chitradeepa Prakarana, or the lamp that illumines the picture. The key methodology is Adhyaropa and Apavada. Adhyaropa is superimposition. For the purpose of teaching, we knowingly attribute creation to attributeless Brahman, like attributing pot to clay. Apavada means denial or negation. Once understood, we negate what was superimposed with neti neti. This method is used throughout to explain how the world appears on Brahman and then is negated. Consciousness is compared to a lamp because consciousness simply illumines everything. Chaitanya, consciousness, does not become the world, body, or mind. It simply illumines them. Without consciousness, nothing is known, and consciousness is self luminous, swaprakasha. The picture is the entire manifestation, which includes the five elements, all living beings, the body, mind, intellect, jiva, and Ishvara, and all experiences of waking, dream, and sleep. This whole thing is like a vast painting or picture projected in consciousness. Just as a painting cannot be seen in darkness, the world picture cannot be known without consciousness. The goal of Chitradeepa is to shift our identification. Until now, in Viveka, we said, I am not this body, not this mind. Now, in Chitradeepa, we will say, I am the light in which the body mind world appears. Vidyarana Mahaswamigal will explain through examples of how consciousness is the substratum of the entire picture. Without consciousness, the picture cannot exist or be known. Just as a screen is needed for a movie, consciousness is the screen for all experiences. The picture appears, changes, and disappears, but the light remains the same. Similarly, our body mind states change, but consciousness remains unchanged. This chapter brings attention back to the light. In chapter 5, we talked about the Mahavakyas, but that can still remain intellectual. Chitradeepa makes it experiential. It says, whatever you are experiencing right now, seeing, hearing, thinking, what makes it known is that knowing principle is which is you. That is Deepa. You are the light that makes the painting visible. The key shift from chapter 5 to chapter 6 is from what I am not to what am I. It is from Neti Neti method to direct experience of this is it. It is from clarity in intellect to experience in awareness. In conclusion, Chitradeepa Prakarana begins this journey by asking us to look not at the objects of experience, but at the consciousness in which all objects appear. Just like we look not only at the painting, but also at the light that makes the painting visible. Vidyarana Mahaswami's approach is very practical. He is not giving us new philosophy. He is taking the same Vedanta and showing us how to see it in our own daily experience. When we begin with the actual slokas of Chitradeepa Prakarana, we will see how the lamp of consciousness illumines the picture of the world. Since this chapter is long with 290 shlokas, Swamiji then gave us a chapter wise flow of the main topics covered. It begins with the example of the painting and introduction of Adhyaropa. Then we move to Paroksha and Aparoksha Jnana, which explains the nature of knowledge, Kutastha and Chidabhasha. Projection and creation explains that the world is projection of on Brahma canvas and not real creation. Kutastha Chidabhasha connection is explained. Next, the wrong reading of scriptures, the wrong understanding of Ishvara, similarities between Jiva and Ishvara, and correct understanding of Ishvara are discussed. This is followed by nature of Maya as the unimaginable creative power. The cause of creation is discussed along with the question who manifests Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Is it Jiva, Ishvara, or Maya? Ishvara as Antaryami or the inner controller is next elaborated. Next, superimposition between Ishvara and Brahman, not just Jiva and Brahman, is elaborated. This is followed by the different meanings of Tat and Tvam, and difference between Chidabhasha, Asanga Kutastha is explained. Bandha and moksha are explained, and that Maya does not create bondage or give liberation. We move to Jnani and Ajnani, the life of Jivan Mukta, and why the enlightened person continues same life is explained. Jivan Mukta samsara continues. Mithyatva of Dvaita is explained. Aparoksha Jnana is discussed, and we see that only direct knowledge is self-knowledge. Jivan Mukta and desires talk about why desires and disease of the body does not affect a jnani. We understand that jnani's memory continues after realization. We see that jnanis teach differently because of the different prarabdha karma, not because knowledge is different as Brahman is one. Swamiji concluded with this. Hari Om. Over to you, Swamiji.
कर्म नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं 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 शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमस्ते शङ्करानन्दपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैर्मने श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम नमो नारायणाय so we are the second class of Chitradeepa Prakarana. So the last class you have just listened to the summary of Chitradeepa Prakarana, which consists of 290 slokas. Even 290. It's a long chapter. As I introduced, this is being an important chapter in Panchadashi. Not only in Panchadashi, but we can say this is the foundation for the whole Vedanta. The whole Vedanta systematic, methodological thinking process is discussed here. Therefore, it's going to be little bit technical in the sense there will be more methodological terminologies and other definitions will be discussed. You are very much familiar with most of the definitions of Vedanta, starting from Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha. But we have discussed some basic terminologies. Now you will have some advanced terminologies and advanced definitions of thinking like this. So this chapter is like a profound Vedantic system builder. This chapter is like a system builder. So you will get many things in this, and many application of Vedanta will be clear. So therefore, this chapter is starting with a Chitradeepa. It means it's going to bring a comparison of a picture, a painting. You are all familiar with paintings, how the painting is made. Now you see with this painting, our Puja Sri Vidyaranya Mahaswami is going to establish the four manifestation or four appearance of Brahma. So we don't say manifestation or like that in Vedanta regarding Brahman. But here, for the sake of understanding, we are adopting that word for this discussion. So we can understand the four kind of appearance. So those four appearances are defined or compared with a picture, a painting. So it is starting with this, and then as you saw at the end of the chapter, again he will bring this example and then conclude the chapter. In between, we will discuss all these four appearance of Brahman in different level. So here, we will experience that how our ajnana, ignorance, is carried by outside objects without reality. And it seems to be realities. Yeah, it seems to be real. It cannot prove it is real, or it cannot prove it is altogether unreal. So this difficulty will be still there, but again you will get more clarity. So what is knowledge all about here is clarity of thought. Clarity of thought is called knowledge, comprehension of Vedantic philosophy. So you will get more clarity into your thinking process. You see, we are not going to change anything here. It's impossible to change anything. Change may take place in your mind, in your perception. So we pursue that change according to the Vedantic systematic thinking. Why we are trying to follow Vedantic systematic thinking? Because only Vedanta leads you to that thinking process. No other science, no other philosophy which is leading like that. So ultimately, we have to adopt Vedanta, uh, surrender to Vedanta for this special thinking process, which will liberate you, which will free you from all the bondages, physical, mental, outside, inside, whatsoever. So therefore, we are trying to pursue this technique, how the thinking process can be developed, how it can be more clear. So ultimately, as I said, your thought process will be clear, more in depth. So that's what is going to be the knowledge. So we take up the first shloka in just introducing the picture there. Yatha chitrapate drishtam avasthanam chatushtayam paramatmani vijneyam tadhavastha chatushtayam. Yatha chitrapate drishtam. How we see in a painting, in a picture. So Chitrapata. Chitrapata is actually a cloth which is painted. It's the painted cloth, what we call as canvas. So canvas, the painted cloth, that's called Chitrapata. So Yatha Chitrapate Drishta. So when we try to understand what this painting is, now you see, you will totally change everything. Your previous understanding of a painting was something totally different. Now you will see how magic you are going to learn here. This simple picture going to teach you a high level of Vedanta methodologically. So he is trying to do that. Okay. So the Chitrapata, the cloth in which the picture is there, the painted cloth, Drishtam, we can see that Avasthanam Chatushtayam, there are 4 stages in that. The Chitrapata is developed by 4 stages, one after another. So Avasthanam Chatushtayam. Avastha means stages, different appearance, and Chatushtaya means 4. So the 4 stages of the Chitrapata. Similarly, Paramatmani Vijneyam Tatha Avastha Chatushtayam. So similarly, 4 stages can be 4 stages of appearance can be understood in Paramatma, Paramatmani, in Paramatma. So that is very clear. So the illustration with this Chitrapata, we are going to compare, we are going to analyze, we are going to do a comparative study of Chitrapata and 4 stages of Paramatma. Now, what are those 4 stages of painting, Chitrapata, and what are 4 stages of Paramatma? That is discussed in second sloka directly. Yatha dhauto ghattitascha lanchito ranjita pataha. Yatha dhauto ghattitascha lanchito ranjita pataha. Chidandaryami sutratma virat chatma tatheyate. Chidandaryami sutratma virat chatma tatheyate. Yatha dhautaha ghattitashta lanchito ranjitaha pata. Now this canvas has 4 stages. The first one is dhautaha, clean canvas, the original canvas which is made of special cotton threads. So that is called Dhauta. It's pure. Now it has only the white color of the original color of that canvas. Nothing added into that. So that is the original stage. Dhauta, that is clean canvas. So you brought a clean canvas. And then in olden days, what they would do, bringing such a canvas of cloth, they should strengthen it. So for strengthening, making it uh, more strong, like stiffened. So making it stiffened, they used to put that cloth in starch, some type of starch. So now that starch is made, chemically made. In those days, they would use starch of uh, rice, cooked rice, or cooked wheat or something. So they could make from that. So some sort of starch they could make, like gum-like thing, some gum they make. So that gum, using that gum, they stiffen this canvas. The stiffening the canvas is the second stage, because if you want to paint on the canvas, it needs a strong substratum, strong uh, base. If that base is not strong, in normal cloth you cannot paint, because the paint will disappear or it will not stain. So for making the painting, need a stiffened canvas with starch or something. So that is called the Ghattita. In Sanskrit, it's called stiffened canvas is called Ghattita. It's become more strong. After that, this is the second stage. And then drawing of the pencil sketch, Lanchita. Then the artist would draw whatever he wants to paint. He will imagine it. Uh, he will first make a structure in his mind, and then he will uh, make a pencil sketch, pencil outline of that in that on that canvas. So Lanchita, that's called Lanchita. So it's like it may not be very clear to others. The picture cannot be very clear to others, but the faint outline, the sketchy outline can be seen there. The picture is there, the pictoric sense is there. When you see that Lanchita outlined canvas, you can see something there. The pictoric sense is there, but it's not very clear to you, but it is clear to him, the artist. Okay, so the picture, the faint outlines is called Lanchita, outlining the sketch. So then that is completed. The third stage. Then comes the fourth stage, Ranjita. Ranjita means actually coloring it according to the lines, the application of color. So Ranjita means color. So Dhautaha, Ghattitaha, Lanchitaha, Ranjitaha. Pataha, canvas. Pata means that cloth, canvas. So now these four stages are there. So when you see a picture, you see the colored canvas there. So that is the idea. Now we will discuss that later. So now in these four stages, comparative to these four stages, what are the four stages of Atma? That is Chit. The Chit is the purest form, pure consciousness, what we call it as potential consciousness, the potential consciousness of the cosmos. That is Chitta. So in Chit, there is no karma, nothing is there. No guna, it's nirguna, and no form is appearing there, no action is appearing there. So nothing is there. It's there as a base. It's there as a substratum for everything. So that is called a Chit. So now, as I said in last class, so in that Chit, pure consciousness, potential consciousness, superimposition comes. So we superimpose, apply many things there. If you see a clean wall without painting, if you see a clean paper without any writing, without any lines, if you see a clean cloth like canvas, what will happen? That if you see that for 5 minutes, just observe it, you can see there are many pictures, many things appear. Actually, there is nothing. But as a seer, observer, you are applying things, forms to that clear consciousness. So that clear cloth or clear wall will start to give you some informations. You will be seeing something there. Something you will feel that I am perceiving something. What happens? Your imaginations, your mind will superimpose some form there in that picture. This is the magical trick of our mind. This is going to be the magical, super magical trick of Maya, the super magical trick of Avidya. You see, nothing is there. There is no need to imagine anything. You could clearly just to observe. You could observe that clean space, but you will not do that. When you see that clean space, you want something there. No, in your home, in your room, you decorate with many things. Sit in that room, middle of the room, and try to practice. In my room, no painting, no furniture, nothing is there. Empty room. You will see the difference. Because you don't want to see anything empty, anything clear. Why? It may disturb you. Because when you see something without a form or without anything there, imagination, your mind is a little bit deterred. You don't enjoy it. You cannot just see a blank, clean wall for hours. You see, this is the problem with us. That is the reality. But we are unable to see that. We are unable to bear it. Not only you, even children cannot do that. You see, small children, even we were doing that in our, what we said, our teenage or whatever. So when we see something like open, we go and write something there or stick something there or something like that. Because we can't see something very clear. So it's completely clear without an imagination. It seems to be disturbing. So this is the basic problem of ajnana. As I said, the super imagination, super miracle or of ajnana. It will make something. So if you get a room, if you get a house without furniture, without painting, without curtain, without nothing, just open, you cannot stay there for a night. Because wherever you see the same color, no. I think any of you have not gone to a jail, or said the jail. Okay. So I have gone to jail to see, not with the crime or any like that, as a punishment, but to see what is there, how people live there, and how that rule is. So in cinema, TV also you can see it. But I went there with somebody to see somebody there. So I saw it is like blank, nothing is there. Only one ventilation above, very maybe 8, 9 feet height. There is a small ventilation. Other than with that ventilator, nothing is there. So this itself is a difficulty, because that what can that person see there, enjoy it, or not, like move his mind. So his mind will be stuck. If he is not a student of Vedanta, if you would have a student of Vedanta, if you would have not gone there. But uh, we think like that. Then you could enjoy, because many other philosophers, when they happen to be in such a condition, they could enjoy jail. They could stay there happy and do things there. So this is what is going to be a striking point here in this discussion. Therefore, he is starting with this chitta. Okay, so the chitta is completely clear, and the pure consciousness, what we call it as pure consciousness, as a potential consciousness, potential for cosmos. Okay, so just for our clarity, we will do that. The chitta. Then comes the second form as Ghattita. Ghattita means stiffened with starch. That is Ghattita. In that state, the comparison is with Antaryami. Antaryami means Ishvara. The second stage is Ishvara. Ishvara is called sometimes Antaryami, indweller of all beings. The indwelling consciousness. Now you see, the pure consciousness, we don't call it as an Antaryami. No, Antaryami has some other work to do, some adopted work. That adopted work is indwelling. Indwelling is an adopted work. So pure consciousness, not as Antaryami, not as Ishvara, as you know from the last chapters, we have discussed this. So pure consciousness has no qualification at all. Only it can be Chideva, Chidgana, Sadeva, Sadrupa. Other than that, nothing can be said. The existence itself, consciousness itself, and bliss itself. It is pure consciousness, pure bliss, and existence as it is, without an acquisition, without a change. So that consciousness cannot be said as indweller of all beings. So when we call it Ishvara, Sarva Bhudanam, Andara Ishvara Sarva Bhudanam, Deshadhiva Tirtha. So the Ishvara, in the form of Ishvara, is an indweller, because there is some action. There is some action after the Maya's application. So Maya, Ishvara, is creative power as Maya, the cosmic creative power as Maya. So this cosmic creative power is imposed there, superimposed there. It's not by us, but by our Shastra, Vedanta. Vedanta superimpose this action of creation in that pure consciousness, then we call it Ishvara. The pure consciousness becomes Ishvara with this application. You are very clear with this concept. We have discussed in Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti, so don't have to no, think about that. You are very clear about it. So the Antaryami, so you see the difference between Chit and Antaryami. Now this is different. The pure cloth, the canvas, and the canvas is stiffened with something. So here he himself will show that, therefore I am not going to discuss that. So here the Maya and other things are the stiffening elements. So the stiffening elements, stiffening stuffs of Chit Ishvara, Chit become Ishvara. So that is Maya and other things. Okay. Then the Chit become Antaryami. You see how beautifully it is developed. So whatever guna, whatever qualities you want to attribute on God, on consciousness, Chitra Atma, those are all here listed here. Those all are listed in this Antaryami. It's not going to be in Chit. Chit is attributionless. We don't need any attribution there. We can't say something. So that is completely Nirguna, Nirvishesha, Nirubhaksha. So the second form is Antaryami. Now the third form, Sutratma. Sutratma is the cosmic subtle body. We call it as Hiranyagarbha. The all subtle bodies, the cosmic subtle body, universal subtle body is called Hiranyagarbha. You know this. So Hiranyagarbha's another name is Sutratma. So Sutratma is Sutra, why it is Sutra? Because it is connecting factor. As you might remember, we have discussed in third chapter, if I remember correctly. In third chapter, we have discussed the cosmic mind and the individual mind. I said the cosmic mind is ruling individual mind. Individual mind has no freedom in that level. So it has some freedom to think about, but that's also provided by cosmic mind. So we discussed this point. Sometimes if you want to revise it, you can go and listen to that point. So that is Sutra. So our minds, as Sujma Sharira, is ruled by, controlled by, or empowered by Sutra. I think the empowered by Sutratma is correct word. So you are getting all information from Sutra. You are processing it and acting on it. So this is called Sutratma. So Hiranyagarbha is another name. Sometimes Sutratma is said as Brahma also. Sometimes Sutratma is called as Prajapati in Vedantic and other Upanishads. But these are the technical words used. Sutratma, Hiranyagarbha, Prajapati, and Brahma also. So now you see the Ishvara is indweller of all beings, and then comes with the subtle mind. Ishvara is again manifested. The same consciousness is again manifested. Got many qualities, some more qualities added into that. What are those qualities? Subtle mind, the cosmic subtle mind, subtle body. The subtle body, Sushma Sharira, is added into that. Now you have so many qualities. If you add Sushma Sharira into, then you will get all mental activities there. They are together. Mental activities, intellectual activities, and egoistic activities. So those are all accumulated. Now you have so many qualities connected with that. Even that cosmic Hiranyagarbha, cosmic mind, has these qualities. And prana, of course, the prana and vital force is also with that. So it is fully active. So, but it cannot be seen, it cannot be identified correctly because you cannot see your subconscious mind. Similarly, here the sketchy outline of that picture, the faint outline is faint. It cannot be seen clearly. One who understands can see it. One who already got it, what is going to be painted, he can probably see it. But normally, people go and see what is going to happen. They cannot clearly understand, but something they will get it. A picture sense, what we call it as picture sense. When you see that canvas, you will confirm that here going to be a picture. So this much idea you will get from the sketchy outlines of the canvas on the canvas. So this is called Lanchita, the third form Lanchita. Here it is called Sutratma. This is subtle body. You see, subtle body is like that. You know it is there, but you cannot see it. You know it is acting, but it cannot stop it. So it's just like a formless form. So therefore, it is compared to Sutratma. Lanchita. Lanchita means that special sketch of the picture. So now comes the last form as Virat. Virat. You see, the Chitra, pure consciousness took all these forms. You have not changed consciousness. The pure consciousness is the base. The canvas is the base. The canvas become stiffened canvas. Canvas become a pencil sketched canvas. Now canvas become painted canvas. Similarly, the Chit become Antaryami, Chit become Sutratma, Chit become Virat. With adding more actions and manifestation to that. So the last word is Virat. Virat is cosmic physical body. This also you know already. The cosmic physical body, the totality of physical bodies. So in Ekadasha Adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita, in many places it is said. Dashama Adhyaya also there, Ekadasha Adhyaya in the ninth chapter is also, we can see that Virat. And in many Upanishads it is described. So it's like even in Purusha Sukta, what we describe is Virat and Hiranyagarbha, Sahasra Jivita Gupta. So this comes as Virat. So Virajate, Vividham Rajate, iti Virat. So it has many bodies, many forms. So therefore it is called Virat. So Ekoham Bahusya. So the one body become many. The one truth, one reality become many. So this is Virat. So Antachita, Antaryami, Sutratma, Viratma. Now we have Chidatma, Antaryami Atma, Sutratma, and Virat. So now you have to remember all these four words and four forms. Make a chart of that. So then remember it, because we need to understand this when we study this chapter. So that is discussed. Now the next point is again how these four forms are formed. That is discussed in third sloka. Swadashubhrotra dhaudasya khattidorna vilepanat. स्वतः शुभ्रोऽत्र धौतस्यात् घट्टितो न विलेपनात् मष्याकारे लाञ्छितस्यात् रञ्जितो वर्णपूरणात् मष्याकारे लाञ्छितस्यात् रञ्जितो वर्णपूरणात् is just explaining the four form, that's all here. So the swataha shubhraha atra dhauta asya. The first one dhauta, the clean canvas, it means naturally inherent white canvas, which has nothing there. So that is called swataha shubhra. Atra dhautaha. Dhautaha is the canvas without any uh, application in that. So that is formless. We have to consider as it's formless. So swataha shubhro atra dhautas. Now ghattitaha anna vilevana. Application of starch or any stuff, some like that, any gum or starch or whatever. So then it is called ghattita, starch, stiffened. So that is ghattitaha anna vilepana. Anna means here we take as star because those days they made starch out of this rice and all. Therefore, it is called anna vilepana. Then comes Lanchita, Mashyakare Lanchitasya. Because those days pencil was not there, therefore he is not mentioning the pencil. It is in 13th century because he wrote this in 13th century. So we could understand that pencil was not there. So they were using mashi. Mashi means ink. So they made ink out of some leaves and things like that. We have a tree from which we used to make mashi. It's called mashi in Sanskrit. So it was there. So they used this mashi. So mashi akare lanchitasya. It is quite natural that ink was natural production. Even in our Ayurveda, we use this mashi for some treatments. So this is like a medicine thing. So Mashyakarehi Lanchitaha. So outlined with some ink or something like that. It is that Mashyakare Lanchita. Then Ranjito Varna Purana. At last, that outlined sketch is filled with all colors. So Ranjita, the actual painting is up here. So Ranjita is called Ranjita. Now we have Dhautaha, Kattitaha, Lanchitaha, Ranjita. Similarly, the fourth sloka says, Swadas tu Maya vi Sukshma Srishtitaha. Sutratma Sthula Srishteva Virat Ityate Paraha. Swadaschit Antaryami tu Maya Visukma Srishtitaha. So now four stages of Paramatma. That is Swadaschit. By its own nature, by essential nature, it is pure consciousness alone. That is called Swadaschit, the potential consciousness, essential consciousness. Then comes Antaryami to Maya. You see, it's clearly said. With Maya attribution, Maya as an attribution, that pure consciousness, the essential consciousness, the potential consciousness becomes indolor of all beings. Antaryami, Antaha Yami Nivasati. So Antaryami, he stays inside and controls. So Antaryamayati, Chalayati, Antaryami. It's famous in Vedantic Upanishad. There is an Antaryami Brahmanam. So in indweller of all beings, that's Antaryami. Antaryami means Maya Ubadhi. That's we know, normally we call it as Ishvara. So this is the second level. Then Sukshma Srishtitaha Sutratma. Then the third form with in relation with in connection with Sukshma Srishti. Sukshma Srishti means Sukshma Sharira. So individual Sukshma Sharira, the collective Sukshma Sharira, the collective, the totality of Sukshma Shariras. That is called Sutratma. That is clear. You know what is Sukshma Sharira, now everything you already studied. So there is no need to discuss those. Stula Srishtaiva Virat Ityate. With this Stula form, again, that same your consciousness is called or formed or stayed as Virat. Stula Srishtya Eva Virat Ityate. So now these two things are compared with there is four slokas. The first sloka introduced the Chitrapata. Second sloka is the four stages of Chitrapata and four stages of Paramatma. Then the third sloka, Chitrapata's four stages described. Now the fourth sloka completed the four stages of Paramatma. Now we have four things in our hands. ब्रह्माद्या स्तंभ पर्यंत प्राणिनोत्र जटा ब्रह्माद्या स्तंभ पर्यंत प्राणिनोत्र जटा अपि उत्तमाधम भावेन वर्तन्ते पटचित्रवत् उत्तमाधम भावेन वर्तन्ते पटचित्रवत्. So now when we come to the actual picture, which is colored already with all grossified forms, what we perceive, what we can see as grossified forms. So that is called the actual picture. Now your wall, your canvas is full of colors. You won't see canvas there. So there is no appearance of canvas. One who understands that only can understand that canvas is existing there, but otherwise only you can see picture. Now he says, Brahmadhyaha stambha paryantaha praninaha. You see all these pranis, all these beings, Brahmadhyaha, the superior level, when we take the superior level as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, all these higher gods. So from there, starting from Brahmaji, the creator, Stambha Paryantaha, the lowest level of green grass. Stambha means the lowest level. From the highest level of Brahmaji, Brahma, and the lowest level of green grass. So these are the forms, these are the different various bodies of the creation. So Brahmadya Stambha Paryanta Praninaha. Atra Jada Api, not only pranis, not only this uh, conscious being, animate being, but also inanimate beings, Jadaha, where the consciousness is not appear. So when you see a picture in which a village is there or something, something is there, where you can see Jata and Chetana. Some people are there, some animals are there, So similarly, some houses, some road and trees, water, mountains, everything will be there in that picture. So therefore, it is everything is shown there. How they are shown? Says uttama adama bhavena. That is important because you cannot show everything in similar form. There has to be graduation. No, gradation. Gradation means that different categories should be there. So you have to categorize things in that picture. Then only the picture will show it good. Otherwise, you cannot enjoy. If everything is similar there, then what is that picture? How can you see that? It cannot be. So therefore, the gradation, the categories are there. How they are categorized? Uttama, adhama bhavena. Higher and lower, superior and inferior, good and bad. Similarly, it is there. Many things are there in categorized form. Uttama, adhama bhavena. So gradation of reality is categorized now. Now you see, only that Chit was there, pure consciousness, and now it become many. When it become many, it is categorized. Now you can see good and bad, ugly, everything. So uttama adhama bhavena vartante pata chitravat. So he says, you remember a picture, a painting of a village or something like that, where you can see everything. Not landscapes. So landscapes means only jadas are jada is there. Inanimate or the landscape will be there. So you can remember something, some like a village or a city or something like that. Then there you can see many things. So you remember that. So okay. So now our picture is ready. So you see a picture in front of you, a, a painting in front of you. Now you know how it is painted. It has three forms in background and it's changed into this painting. Now when you see a painting, the question is, what do you see in that? What you are enjoying in that painting? How can painting attract you? What is attractive there? So there are so many questions unanswered. So he's going to take up those questions. Now you will see how Vidyaranya Muniji is going to analyze that picture. Now you never did it because you enjoyed the picture and just left it. Now you will see you never understood a what is a painting, or maybe in your room you kept many paintings there. So you never saw it, never understood it. So you are a fool in this case. He will prove that you are a fool, that you don't understand it and you enjoy it. How you don't know how we are enjoying it. So we will see that this sloka is interesting. Chitrapita manusyanam vastra bhasa prithak prithak. Chitradhareण vastreण sadrisha iva kalpitaah. Chitrapita manusyanam vastra bhasa prithak prithak. He says the manusyas, the men in that picture, Chitrapita manusyan, vastra bhasa. There are prithak prithak vastra bhasa. There are many kinds of different kinds of variegated cloths and the cloths and other ornaments, many things they are wearing it. So vastra abhasaha prithak prithak. So prithak prithak means different kinds, variegated vastras, cloths, and other abhushanas, other ornaments. So they are all there in that picture. And it's well painted, no actual painting, real painting. The Chitrarpita Manushyanam Vastrabhasaha Pratak. Now, Chitradharena Vastrena Sadrisha Ivas Kalpita. Now, you see, the interesting point is those cloths of different kinds of cloths are painted there. They appear as real as the canvas of the picture. Now, those cloths are cloths or not? It's very difficult to decide. The cloths are seen in that picture. Are they real or unreal? Are they cloths or not? You will say, no, they are not cloths, they are only paint. They are only seen. No, it is only paint. No cloth relation. Now, what happened to our original cloth? So that cloth is there. If you want to say, you can say that cloth become this cloth. But he says no. Chitra adharena vastrena sadrisha iva kalpita. So they are embossed, imagined, or made like that. Because that cloth, the original cloth, is only the background. That cloth has not changed into this variant cloths. That has not changed. That is the same. That's keeping the same quality or same position. It has not changed its state. But you see other cloths there. Now I ask, when we see a picture, we are looking at paint. Are we at that cloth what we are seeing? Cloth in sense that canvas? Are we looking at the canvas? One question. The second question is, if not, are we looking at ink applied there? Now the sketchy outlines cannot be seen. That's gone. So the ink applied there. So now what you are seeing? The canvas or the ink? So we have to think. Now, or the outlines cannot be seen, or we can, if you want to think about that, you can think about that. The outlines there. So three forms. Which are you seeing now? So this is wonderful, is the creation. This is the creation. Now that is one point. The other point is, what is the attraction there? What is attractive? Is that canvas is attractive? Or the ink is attractive? Or the forms what you see there are attractive? Now if you say the forms are attracting me, the colors of the forms, the combination of the forms, colors are attractive. Then what happened to the canvas? Can you see without canvas anything there? The canvas is the existence. If anything can attract, that would be canvas. Because without canvas, the pictures has no life, no existence, no entity. So they cannot be a subject of attraction. Okay, so now what is attracting there is you have to find out. Now, actually, canvas is not attracting, and paint, the colors, the actual color what are there, they are not attracting because those colors were there in that no in different forms. They are separated. The colors, if you see each color differently, it's not attractive. Or we can say the color combination. No, color combination is also not attractive. But what is attracting there is the light shone there. It looks as if life is there. Actually, in that painting, there is no life. You know it. In reality, there cannot be life. But what is attracting there is when you look at it, something is formed there. When you see next time a picture, when you see a painting next time, try to observe your mind. What I am attracted, how I enjoy this painting. Is a form enjoying or what is it? Actually, when we look at that painting, as if the life is there, something is formed, some life is formed. So we are seeing something which is not there. That is a mystery. Life is not there, you know it. It is canvas, made of canvas, and color, painting, everything is there. Life is not there, but what you are enjoying is life. What you are enjoying is the consciousness form, the form of consciousness. Can you believe it? No. When you, I will just change this into a cinema theater because the same thing is happening there. In those days, cinema was not there, therefore we could not bring that example here. But we have cinema, small beer. So when we go to a cinema hall, we sit there and watch a movie. So what is happening there? The same things. One cloth or something, some background will be there. And through light, some forms are appearing in that cloth background. Right? The same thing. Same thing here, it is painted in actual form. There, through light, they show it. The same painting, they show it. But when we watch a movie, we never think this movie is lifeless. Because the people moving there with life, people talking there with life, they are hugging each other with life. They are doing all actions with life. Therefore, we enjoy it. Therefore, we sometimes watching a movie, in between we cry, we loudly laugh, we enjoy, we react to that. Because you have life. The life is same, life is shown there. Can you say without life you are seeing it? You are alive, that is okay. But you are giving life to that movie. The light is moving, the color is moving, the film is moving there, but you are giving life to that. Then only you can enjoy. When you remove that life from there, separate that life, you think, oh, there is nothing. Oh, this is all, oh, it's just the people are fooling me. Then the enjoyment is gone. Then the attraction is gone. You will think I wasted my money for this. So you see uh, how it is happening. How can we see something which is not there? How can we enjoy something which is not there? So that is the mystery of creation. That is the mystery of Maya. So you are doing the same thing with this world. Since birth, you are doing this. Nothing else. You are seeing a long film, long movie. It is not ending. We don't know where it is going to end. Such movie you are watching on the background of your own consciousness. You are living, you are giving life to those things, outside objects. So your consciousness, your that potential consciousness is appearing in different forms. So this is the mystery of creation. Therefore, he says, Sadrisha iva kalpita. Now, those cloths, the painted cloths and the original cloths. So the painted cloths as appearing cloths, seemingly cloths, but the original cloth is cloth. The canvas is cloth. And that canvas cannot give a separate cloth to those painted people. Canvas cannot give it. Canvas can give support only with the background. Only canvas can give life to those paintings. Life means existence. So this is Chitradharena Vastrena Sadrisha Va. So if you can look at objects outside like this, you know this is original, this is, yes, everything is original. We don't, everything is organic, everything is original. We don't deny it. But how you enjoy it or how you feel some emotion towards it, because you feel it with life. You feel it, not only feeling, I say you feel it with life. So the lifeless objects gets life with your own observing. So when you observe it, your mind gives life. Your interest, your attraction gives life. You see how interesting it is. So now this idea, this is not only an idea. This is what we are experiencing. So now if you have a problem, we can take up another experience for this. If you have a problem, somebody has some problems. Now you see, problem is outside or inside. Mostly we consider problem is outside. Now who gave life to that problem? You gave life to that problem. You gave existence to that problem. As when you see a picture, the painting, you give life to that painting. You say, oh, beautiful, this is something amazing. So this is the perceiving or observation or whatever you say. This is the mystery of creation. This is what we call it as creation. It's a big, great, super mystery. So that mystery in Vedanta we call it Maya, or in individually we call it Avidya. In different level. But if somebody understands this, how can we see something which is not there? The life is not there. How can we enjoy the life there? If we can enjoy the life in a picture, exactly same we are enjoying in our actual life. So this actual life objects are also all your relations, all your activities, everything. It's all pictured. It's all happening there. And you are giving life to that. You adopted it. And then say, I am this, I am that. It's your adoption. As you go to a cinema hall and you pay money and sit there for hours and watch the film. Similarly, you did it. Now, sometimes you are unable to enjoy it. No, when your life something goes wrong, you don't think, oh, I have adopted it. No, I uh, borrowed it. I adopted it. I wanted it. I only brought it. You never think like, but you only did it. As you go to a cinema hall and see the happenings there. Similarly, you are seeing this happenings here. So you this with this body has many karmas, and it's just you brought that body, and some karma is working out in sequence. So one after another it comes and give you these effects. So those effects, sometimes you accept it, sometimes unacceptable. So don't worry, just think about that, because this is happening there. I have brought it and I am looking at it. I am experiencing it. I have given life to it. So I have to manage. You are only the person who is responsible for this. So you see, when you keep a no, artistic painting in your drawing room, in your uh, room, living room or bedroom, wherever, you may enjoy that painting. Not necessarily whoever comes. People may not appreciate. I have seen much quarrel in houses. Just to change a painting from one wall to another wall, there will be a big problem with husband and wife and people there. Just to change one picture from one wall to another wall. You see how the people give life to that, how strong they are with. It cannot be possible. Now it can there they will quarrel and there will be a debate. Then it may go to even court at last, and it can be a reason for a divorce of husband and wife. Just changing a painting from one wall to another wall. So this is what life is. Do you see? You don't see a mystery in this. Something is there. Some mysterious energy, some mysterious thought process is happening within us. Therefore, we are seeing something which is not there as real. So here the point is, The picture which is painted in gross form is life-and now with life. So the life is given by the observer, given by the person who is looking at it, who is experiencing. Only he can do that. So you enjoy that painting, but the other person is not enjoying. Though he is also accepting it. That person is also accepting it. He's also giving some life to it. Therefore, he doesn't enjoying with that. But you are enjoying and the other person is not enjoying. Then both are giving life to that picture. Now, what is the why we should blame a picture? There is something in that picture. Picture cannot do anything. What people do, they take out that picture and throw it down and break it and destroy it. Then the problem is solved. Now you see why that mind works like that, because they have given life to that, and this picture is making all this problem. If we kill that picture, destroy its picture, then the problem will be solved. Now, what is there? What is the why you are blaming that? This is what is interesting. So this is the cause of our ignorance, cause of our good and bad experiences. This is what I call as sadrisha kalpita. So chitradharena vastrena sadrisha iva kalpita. I really I frankly say no commentator could understand the second line of this sixth sloka. What Vidyaranya Muni intended to say. Now I have explained what I studied and what I thought about in my way. And other commentaries, if you see, they have explained their way. But I see nobody could understand. I say, even I am not sure this is what the line says. Because it is mysterious. The line itself is mysterious. He says, Chitradharena vastrena sadrisha iva kalpitaha. Its words are very simple. But what idea he wants to convey here is unknown to us. Why I am saying that? There are so many reasons. He's saying Chitra Adharena. The Adhara means the base of that picture. So by the base of that picture, the clothes of the people of the picture. Now we have two cloths. One is the base cloth, canvas. Another, the cloth of the picture of the people who are seen in that painting. They are wearing some cloths. So their cloth and this cloth, what he wants to connect that is not very clear. So Chitradharena vastrena sadrisha iva kalpita. Again he says sadrisha, similar to that. Now the original cloth, the canvas, is not changed into his wearing clothes. Now the wearing clothes is purely painting. The painting is glorification. Virat is after Panchakarana. So you have a Panchadasi here. And there are now the base cloth, which we call as canvas. The canvas never changed. Canvas is changeless. But canvas gave extent to the wearing cloth of people in the picture.
Swamiji's net is not working, so we can conclude the session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Today's audio wasn't good.
Yes, even that.
Half of it I missed.
Anyway, time is over. Swamiji completed.